Hello everyone, this is Gorax, and once again I'm gonna show you that Rally is not terrible, especially when it comes to Continental Challenge and Endgame boss. Today we're gonna cover the Endgame boss, where you can see my Rally team, the exact same team you could build against Continental Challenge boss, has done pretty well. 264 million, which outdamaged my Nastienka. So the strategy here is pretty much the same as with any other team against this Resurgent Dragon. What we need to do against this boss is mitigate few things. We need to mitigate this by increasing our ultimate, and well, we got few ways to do it with the Rally team. We also want to get rid of this defense up to, in a way, some way to deal damage. On top of that, we want to mitigate attack penalty on our heroes and make sure the boss goes into weakened state, where we'll do extra 50% damage, as well as we want to ensure that we always hit it, so our rotation will make sense. So first, I'm gonna show you the timings that I've done to deal 264 million damage. Now, those are not ideal, and you will understand why. Because the boss rotation is 33 seconds. It's not 30 seconds. So in theory here, we should instead go every 16.5 seconds with our team, which is easier to obtain. We know we can do 264 million with this team, so let me change the timings, run simulation, and see what we can get with different timings. Now, another thing we need to take into consideration is when we cast the boss ultimate. Remember, he get weakened at this last 3 seconds of the rotation, so we need to aim with our skills to deal damage at that point to increase the total damage output. So what I've done here is slightly adjust my damage dealers timings. So as you can see, Huberg will start at 14.5, and then his next ultimate will hit at 31, giving him 2 seconds to cast all of his balls on that 50% damage increase, and this will repeat constantly. We don't really need to worry about Altos or Lorenfield damage. We just want Alton to cast these orbs as quickly as possible and apply defense penalty. And same with Philander, I went from 14 seconds to 13.2, which means he will cast his ultimate at 29.7. We can even go as much as 13.5 to hit at 30-second mark as well, to make sure we hit that extra damage. Now let's see if this actually works as in theory it should. Let's see if we will hit exactly the damage where we're supposed to once the boss goes into the weakened state. So we slow down now. We're hitting a little bit earlier because the boss goes into the weakened state just now. So we need to make sure these timings are better. We can see that on second rotation as well, that the boss goes into the weakened state a little bit later compared to our ultimate, so we're missing it. You see that here. But even with that, we're still doing 255 million damage. Now you need to find if it's worth for you to adjust the skill timings, because the window of opportunity is so tiny. And looks like 18.7 seconds is the sweet spot here. You can also see I changed Lorenfield ultimate timing a little bit and Alton to delay their skills to sync with the new skill timings on my damage dealers. Remember, try multiple timings, see which ones worked for you the best, because maybe the min-maxing is not worth it. But if you look here, we will cast our ultimates just as the boss goes into the weakened state, and they will finish shortly after. So let's see what is the total outcome out from this and see if that has been an improvement on the or not. So even after that change, the damage is minimal. It once again shows you that, okay, while you can min-max, there are other things that will definitely we don't take into consideration, and they will reduce the damage, like random people dying, random heroes dying earlier than they are supposed to. So let's quickly go over the equipment and why this strategy works. So once again, we're gonna use Jillian with resistance. This build allow us to basically be able to get ultimate energy and grant resistance to our allies, making sure that the boss's passive doesn't work. Same strategy we're gonna use for every team, so make sure you do. Few things you might want to do. You might want to build your heroes that are around Jillian with resistance. If you build them with resistance, you will resist attack penalty as well. So in this case, if we're looking at Philander, it's a simple way to get enough resistance. Instead of going for offensive rune here, all you need to do is you get the resistance rune with offensive stats. That's as simple as that. So look for something like this, and this will help you in general against this boss, as you will avoid attack penalty or other debuffs. Once that's done and you have resistance on your heroes, resistant negative rune, you'll notice that the boss doesn't apply any debuffs to us anymore, which comes in handy. And this might result in a slightly damage increase, so play it and find the best way for your team to work. But that's pretty simple. Let me just quickly show you the stats on my heroes and the talents that we chose, because there is one talent that is quite important. As I said, the strategy with resistance is good, but there's a talent on Alton that will help us remove a dispel from the target when consuming rally on the ultimate skill. So this can help us with removing that defense penalty on here. And we also build Lorenfield with as much attack to transfer it to Hubert, who is our second damage dealer. So this team does work, doing more damage than the Dauntless team, and I'm really happy that Rally does shine somewhere, as when it comes to other game modes, Rally was not doing really good. So let me know in the comment section down below how you build your Rally. If you've been able to use Filto as well. As I said, I don't really have all the available resources on this account that I would like to. I could actually even try Filto in here. And our timings will be very similar to what we had with Philander, but we need to switch the placement. We need to make sure our team moves a little down here, and Filto is actually in here. This way he can target, well, I don't think he will target 3 of them anyway, but at least 2 of them. So if this doesn't work, if this doesn't increase his damage, you can also move him like that. So this will at least target 2. So let's do it this way first and then move him down below a little bit. Let's see if we can do similar damage to the one with Philander against this boss. There we go, 259. I call it solid. Just out of the gate, okay? 259, so very similar damage to Philander. And now let's move him one bit down to see if this actually will work. I don't believe he will target 3 of them, but who knows what the target and size of this boss is. And let's have a look here. So 244 similar damage. I will still keep them up. As you can see, they died because they're very squishy. So yeah, definitely a viable alternative for those of you who don't have Philander. But obviously this Filto is stacked inspiration free, so that adds up to a little bit of damage. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember, if you have any improvements to this team or the strategy, leave it in the comment section down below so future generation of players can have that insight as well. Thank you for watching, stay safe, bye!